And we've made it, Phil, outside of a major camera bugaboo to begin today. But we've got this far, and now we've got the voice of. Here, slide this way so they can see you. I know they hear
I'm
you.
okay with not being seen.
Come on, Derek. Get in here, man.
Have you ever been this way? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
all right. I can lean on my right shoulder.
We shouldn't have had that issue. But anyways, we'll do that another
it's live broadcasting.
That's what happened. So, what'd you think?
That was awesome.
You hear that voice, and what here you are today.
Opening day was so special for Tommy. I mean, nobody loved Gamecock baseball more than Tom Moody, and we used to laugh and joke that he probably slept here the night before opening day. That he always said, "Just let me in when I'm coming up because I'll have my hands full of the equipment. I know you'll already be there because you'll be there all night." But I mean, on a serious note, he loved this program and he loved baseball. And opening day for anyone who loves baseball is special. I grew up a Reds fan, and that's the oldest major league franchise. So opening day was always, it was like a holiday in Cincinnati. They have the Finley Market Parade, and then they have opening day game. And you get here and you figure out it's on the college level.
Yeah,
it's as close as you're going to find to that. It just matters here. My late wife used to call it Christmas in Columbia, and that's what it felt like. And nobody was the grand poobah of that event more than Tommy Moody. And so all day I've been thinking about that, about how excited he would be, because he always was on game day, let alone on opening day. And so to see all the special celebrations that people are contributing, that was great. What you guys put together there, what we have for our pregame show coming up in a bit is awesome. What they're doing here in the venue is going to be kind of the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that. Again, everybody get in here by, let's call it 3:30. If you can get in here by 3:30
is very safe. If you're a little later than that, you're probably okay, but don't push it.
Yeah.
As I told somebody earlier, now that things have changed as far as what you can do in a stadium and there's nothing you can do in the tailgate lot that you can't do in here now.
Well, that's true.
That's changed. So you don't really have a good excuse unless you're just stuck in traffic.
That's right. So if you get in at 3:30, you can go get the stuff that you do at the tailgate lot and then be settled to watch all this. So we were picking on Coach. We just talked to Coach Tanner too, and Coach Tanner said he was going to be, texting Coach Lake when he screwed up. He wouldn't tell him when he did well, but when he screws something up, he's going to make sure he's on him about that.
That sounds very in character.
It's just like Coach Tanner, right? But I don't think he will, and I'm not so sure that y'all could have found a soul on the planet who would better fit that seat in honor of Tommy.
Yeah, no question. First of all, just because Stewart's such a genuinely good person, but he had a great appreciation for Tommy, and the last couple of years as he's become part of our team and filled in when I couldn't be there, he got to work with Tommy a lot, and then that added to that appreciation. And I'll just say it because I'm sure he's not going to tell you that, because he's not going to pat himself on the back, but there's no one who's played a bigger role in what is happening here today in terms of all pieces of what you're going to find out about. I don't want to give anything away just yet, but Stewart and I'm gonna have a brain cramp. But Tyson Lusk and Stuart Lake have they have spearheaded all of this, and it has been so well done. Everything from the establishment of the scholarship in Tommy's name to the celebration today, and all things in between that, the memorial ceremony. They've been at the forefront of those efforts, and I can't thank them enough for making sure that my guy, my great friend, is being honored the way we would all want him to be.
Tommy made everybody smile, and I've said this a bunch. Just little things here, conversations I would have with him. I can never figure out people when you talk to them, and you ask them how they're doing, but at the end of the conversation, you found yourself talking about yourself the whole time. He was one of those guys.
Yep.
He never. He didn't want to hear the praise or whatever. He just found a way to make every conversation about you. And you always felt so good after you got done.
Yeah,
speaking with him.
Yeah, he was a very humble guy, and just his heart was so big, and just such a pleasant person. He, when I first met him, first day I met him was doing a broadcast with him. I didn't have a chance to be introduced to him ahead of time, and I was filling in for Mike on a Carolina Clemson game on a Saturday because Mike was doing basketball. And that was at Sarge Fry, so I never met this guy, and I walk into that ramshackle old radio booth at Sarge Fry, and it's me and him for 9 innings. And I walked out of there feeling like I had a new friend, and it was just great. And then we just from there just bonded really well as he did with anybody who he worked with. It wasn't anything special about me. That's just who Tommy was.
Yeah. It's I can't wait to see all this. Can't thank y'all all enough for what you're going to be doing for that. And then, here we go. It's 2024 Carolina baseball. We've been calling this broadcast opening day our celebration of Gamecock baseball. Derek, one of the themes of this, and it has been every year that I've been doing radio or media, is that this program is really unique in how it connects the past to the present and to the future. There's going to be all kinds of people that walk through these doors today from different generations of Carolina baseball, and they'll all be comfortable with each other. But they're all here for this team too, this 2024 team. And I think they've got a chance to be pretty good.
Sure.
I know they've had some things to work on trying to get healthy and stuff like that. But Derek, your thoughts as they kick everything off here, the expectations that are back on this program after what they did last year, preseason accolades, all that stuff.
Think about how long it's been since this Gamecock baseball program went to the NCAA tournament, made a regional 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It's been a while, and that's not great. That's not what this program is known for. And so this is a team that certainly is positioned and staffed and stocked in a manner where they can do that. And sure, there are some questions to be answered, whether it is pitching or defense. But when you start off by penciling into your lineup card 2, not 1, but 2 preseason All-Americans every day, that's a great place to start the conversation. And then you build around that. And, the guys that they plug into this lineup, 4 of your top 5 hitters from last year are back. The guy you lose is a huge loss in Braylon Wimmer, but Will Tippett had the chance last year to get his feet wet in SEC baseball, and now he slides into that spot. There's some opportunities here to build a great lineup 1 through 9. So then you're just trying to figure out pitching, and I don't think they lack for quality arms. No. They just lack for experience on that setting, and they may not have a guy who shapes up as a classic SEC Friday guy, but plenty of teams have still had great years without having a dude who you spent all year talking about whether he was a first-round pick or a second-round pick.
Right.
So I think you've got great potential here with this team. And we'll start it off today, and it's obviously a long, slow build, but I definitely like, the starting point for this bunch. You're not going back to zero.
Is there any kind of special motivation for you that they're playing Miami of Ohio? Aren't you an Ohio U grad?
I'm not a grad. No, they would never accepted me there. I worked there for a decade.
I saw it on your wall one day. I was like, well, he's a Bobcat. I don't know if I don't know if that's their big rival. Is that a rivalry in the MAC?
It is, JC. It is the rivalry in the MAC. It really is. Those two schools are so similar, but they hate each other. Everybody at OU calls Miami J. Crew U, and everybody at Miami refers to Ohio as Birkenstock U. It's a different kind of feel on the campuses, but they're both beautiful campuses in great college towns. I always thought Miami had the leg up. I never said this around Athens, but I always thought Miami had the leg up because college town was still somewhat close proximity to Cincinnati and Dayton, whereas Athens was close to a couple of good-looking fields where cows were bred and where corn grew, and that was about it. But no, Miami's really a sleeping giant in the Mid-American Conference. This new coaching staff knows it. Talking to them and finding out what they're figuring out, because they're all new to that campus as well. But Miami, to me, ought to be good at most everything in that league most years. And I know the transfer portal makes it hard to be good consistently in anything. But Tracy Smith was there. When he was there and I was still in Athens, he went on to be Arizona State's head coach and works for the Brewers now. When he was there, they had weekend rotations that you'd be comfortable running them out here.
Oh, yeah.
On a weekend. They had dudes, man. And I think it's been a while, but they've got some guys in this lineup who he's inherited who are very capable of hitting SEC pitching. So I think it's a good starting point as far as a test is concerned. But, yeah. To me, they were the Redskins, and they changed their name before anybody else did, and their fans still are absolutely disgusted by that fact all these years later. Pre Wally Zerbiak, That change took place. Pre-Ben Roethlisberger, that change took place, but they are still the Redskins in my mind for the most part.
I love this old school Gamecock baseball BP feel here. While the other team is trying to stretch,
yep.
They have no idea if they're about to get hit with one of these missiles.
That's one of the hidden talents of college baseball players is having your head on a swivel, because this goes on every day in every ballpark where guys are in left field and right-handed. I mean, Ethan Petrie's in the batter's box. You think he's not capable of taking somebody's head off?
Yeah.
He hits lasers, and there's a group of 30 Miami players that are stretching
None
right
of them
now.
are paying attention.
No, there's one guy in front who's supposed to be the guardian. He's got a glove on. He's supposed to somehow protect the other 30 dudes if a ball comes flying in there. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Hit one oppo, so just to give them a scare,
Yep.
We're about to find out just how talented this cat is down here in left field.
Tell you a funny story. The first year when I was still working for Gamecock Sports Properties and selling sponsorships here, the first year we did the K cards on the outfield fence in right field, we had an intern named Rick. We didn't get the K cards in until the day of the game. So Rick's out there during BP with zip ties trying to put those K cards on that metal railing right field fence. Took a BP ball right in the forehead. Had to take him to the hospital. He was concussed. You could see the threads of the baseball in his skin, implanted in his skin between his eyes. We thought we killed the poor kid. So BP can be dangerous. There's no doubt about it.
It can be very, very dangerous, especially when you guys like that right there. Gavin Costas taking one of the gap. Well, Derek, we'll let you get to it. We know you've got a lot of work to do, and we're about an hour and a half away, or a little over an hour and a half away from beginning to officially honor Tommy Moody here on opening day in Founders Park. But really, really excited for you. It's my favorite time of the year from a sports standpoint, and then personally, because we get to double and triple and quadruple Derek Scott every week.
Jeez.
You're a well worked man these days. Now, somebody did ask a question tomorrow. Derek will not be calling both tomorrow. He'll be on basketball.
I'll do basketball. Kate Crenshaw is more than capable of handling baseball, and I can just tell you from experience, it always was frustrating if you were the fill-in guy and you did your prep and then somebody showed up in the middle of the game and said, I got it from here. Ooh. They're a champ. It's like, yeah, okay, thanks. So I always vowed I'd never do that. And so Cade will have the stage. I might come over here in the morning after shoot around and just make sure there's no technical problems. But no, it'll be Cade and Stewart tomorrow, and on a lot of dates here for the next few weeks when basketball's got me doing other things.
Well, hopefully that lasts well into March. That would be good news for Lamont Paris.
Do you remember 2017? I missed the first 3 SEC series, and I think we were all okay with
gladly.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gladly. Derek is one of the great voices in college athletics, and the University of South Carolina is very grateful and honored to have him. And you can hear him and his new partner, Stuart Lake, today on the air, the Gamecock Sports Network at 3:45. They will carry the pregame ceremonies for Tommy Moody on that. Coach Lake mentioned that they all will kind of step aside and allow people to be able to listen into what's going on from time to time. But for those that aren't in the ballpark, you can listen to that. Video will be coming of that down the road.
Oh, you better believe it. Yeah.
So looking forward to it. And thanks for everything you do, Derek.
All right, man.
We can't thank you
guys.
enough.
Glad you could do this.
You're the best.
Great way to celebrate the day.
Absolutely. There you go. The fine voice of Derek Scott.